Hi, Lance. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fellow Bison. Shout out to
Hey,
HU.
that's
You
what's
know?
up.
All right. Well, I love the film. I feel like it was giving Eat, Pray, Love, but a Black version. So we all
Ab-
love that. We love seeing Black women in that space. So
Absolutely.
tell me a little bit, what was it like working with some women that we've seen on our screens for so long, who I just spoke to Joyful. She's kind of stepping into her, legendary status. She's been in the game for a while now. Tell me what it was like to working with such great Black women.
I mean, it was amazing. I wish I would have had more.
Okay.
I only had a couple of scenes, but the scene that we did work together, all the whole cast. I mean, we had so much fun. I mean, they're so talented and amazing at what they do. Erica Ash, I mean, she is a joy to work with. I mean, she's so funny and just talented, working with Terri Vaughn as a director. I mean, I've been wanting to work with Terri for a long time. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. I think it's really special when actors become directors because it's a different layer that comes about when they can understand from the actor standpoint, and then that director standpoint, they can bring certain things out of you, because they can relate,
Yeah, they've been in
but
both spaces. Mhm.
yeah, both spaces. So working with this entire cast, it's been so fun. I hope we do another one, but yeah, it was a
I,
joy.
I love that. I love that. So what I also spoke to Joyful about was kind of using films and films like these for our feel good films. I feel like a lot of the times, especially with Black people, a lot of our storylines are based in trauma, right? So
Yeah.
especially with this film, this is like a feel good film that women, especially women of color of all ages, can relate to. And it doesn't have that much trauma. And,
Yeah.
ratings, drama, all that, like those are good with those films. But sometimes we just need a feel good film. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. This is a breath of fresh air, because our lives aren't always filled with drama. Sometimes it's simple problems that we have to overcome. I feel like it's amazing to have this story because I feel like the through line with this story is that no matter what age you are, where you are in your career, it's okay to start over. We're all crossroads. No, we're books. Sometimes we have to start that new chapter. And it's just, I feel like the audience is going to be able to relate to this because maybe they're going through the same thing that some of these women are going through. And it's just beautiful also to see, women stick together as friends. They come to a different country just to support a friend, and that's what we deal with in life. So I'm glad that Hallmark Mahogany has taken the step to show real stories that we can relate to.
Definitely. And I feel like this story is so relatable in so many ways. All right, Lance. Well, just to close, I wanted to ask, as a very women heavy film, which is what we need sometimes, I still feel like there's a message in it for the fellas. If you had to pick a message that this film would send for the fellas watching, whether they're sitting there with their wives, their girlfriends, their moms, their sisters, their aunties, what would that be? What's something they could take away from it?
I'll relate it to my character Andre. It's being there and being supportive of your significant other. We, like I said before, we all go through crossroads. I feel like that's what was happening with Reese's character. She had recently retired, and she was just kind of testing the waters on a lot of different projects and trying to find out what she would be next for her, what she would be interested in. So from a character standpoint, it's just, being supportive, being there, keeping the line of communication open, sharing your thoughts and feelings, but yeah, being supportive of your significant other.
All right, fellas. So for all those watching this, there's a takeaway here. It's not just a women film. There's some things you guys can learn. But for sure, what we love the most is seeing Black women and Black men traveling the world, living in their soft life era, as everyone calls it, which is definitely another side to us. We're just not all trauma and drama. We have so many sides as a people. So thank you for being a part of this film, and thank you for your time today. We look forward to this and everything that you have coming. We love seeing your face on the screen, and we only hope to see it more.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, Lance. Thank you. So although there are some beautiful men in this film, it really focuses on you queens and you just as a girlfriend group and the relationships between you guys. And I feel like in an era where we don't necessarily see, we're seeing more of it now. Thank God things are changing, but where we see like positive, successful women in healthy relationships, not only with their romantic interests, but with their girlfriends. Tell me a little bit about what it was like being part of a film that kind of like amplifies that.
Well, first of all, it was about time, right?
Right.
I'm one of three girls. It's four of us. So my mom had four daughters, and we're literally all best friends, including my mom. So, and my mom's one of 9 sisters. So we come from a lot of beautiful, strong Black women in our family, and we actually love each other and we all get along. Sometimes we might disagree. Sometimes we're all going through our own stuff. And we can be opinionated at times, as you see in this film, but we genuinely support one another. And not only that, we support one another's decision to choose and make their own path. And I think one of the biggest things about this movie is you see these 3 Black, educated, smart, beautiful Black women, in Italy doing these amazing things, going wine tasting and making cheese and whatnot. And that's what my friends want to do. That's what I want to do. And I feel like we get to tell a story, an authentic story about who Black women really are. And we're much more than we see on television. Yes, so to portray that was just, it was awesome.
I love that. And I couldn't agree more. You kind of like led me into my next question. This film kind of gives like a girlfriend's version of like Eat, Pray, Love, which is a movie that I love. But like you said, it being shot in Italy and you guys doing all these things that, Black girl luxury, we love to have that too. Tell me a little bit about this film just as a standalone, because we love Julia Roberts and we loved Eat, Pray, Love, but now this is kind of, you get to see the sisters do it a little bit. And I just wanted to know, do we need more films like this?
I think we do, because this particular film has a heart. It has a story. It takes you on a journey, and it's not your typical, pit girl against girl and you're fighting over a man. Like, that's not what this is. And I'm not trying to dismiss any of those stories or films that are out there, but, sometimes you want to tell a story that feels good, that is true to, your heart, that you can watch with your grandma or your mom or your child. And it doesn't mean that it's a fluff piece or it doesn't matter. Our director, Terri J. Vaughn, always says this story matters. Right. It matters on so many levels, because representation and perception is so important. And once we start to portray Black women and we start to see ourselves in an elevated way, being in Italy, going to, the wine country, dating again after being hurt, or maybe dating outside our race, which you'll see in this film, I think then we can, step into our own and really, let the world know that we are dynamic and we are powerful, know, and we have a choice in how we want to be seen. So I'm so happy that Mahogany and Hallmark did this, and they're continuing to do this because it's important for the culture.
Yes. And it's important, and this film matters. I 100% agree with that. I was just having a conversation with someone about you know, we love deep storylines but sometimes we don't want to see Black trauma. Sometimes, you know, we want to see us loving and living, which is definitely another side to us as a people. So congrats to you and the cast and Hallmark for that. To wrap up, which kind of goes into my next question. Tell me a little bit about you kind of stepping into your icon, your legendary status. You know, we've seen you do so much great work over the years, a million different films. Tell me a little bit about just stepping into your legendary status. Like, you just literally shot a movie in Italy, and that's huge. And I just want to know, like, how has the journey been for you? We've watched you over the years and we're cognizant of all the amazing work you've done, but what's the journey been like for you?
Oh, thank you so much. You know, the journey has been a windy road, some uphill, some downhill, some sitting on the mountaintop. Right now, I'm at a spot where it's just sweet. Okay. It's just sweet because I have a beautiful family I get to share my life and my career with, and I have a little daughter, young daughter. So that's another reason I'm really proud of this film, because it's something she can watch. And it's something that, not saying I'm not proud of, you know, the other stuff I did, like I did season 2 of P-Valley. And
I was about to say, we loved you in P-Valley. I don't know if she can watch that, but we loved you.
You can't watch P-Valley. No, she can't watch that. But, you know, so it's just been sweet. And I'm so thankful that I chose this. And, you know, I will say this. Because I'm educated, I come from a, you know, family of education, you know, people with degrees. My mom's a doctor. And I went to college on an academic scholarship. And, you know, they wanted me to be an engineer or different things like that. And I said, no, I'm going to be an actor. And an uncle of mine said, why would you ever be an actor? You're never going to make any money. You're never going to have health insurance. And I'm 18 years old and I'm crushed. He's crushing my dream. And I told my mom what he said. It wasn't her brother, it was my dad's brother. And my mother said, don't worry about money. Do what you love and the money will come. So I've been fortunate enough to be a working actor who's only acted for about 20 years. Wow. Because my mom said, bet on yourself and follow what you love and God will do the rest. So I'm just watching him work it out day after day, project after project. And it's just sweet.
I love that. And your mom was so right, because look at you now. I bet you the uncle's biting his tongue. Shout out to Uncle, though.
Right. That part. Shout out, though. Still love you, Uncle, but you were wrong.
You were very wrong. And shout out to Mom. You know, I think moms are just such special people, and they always know the right things to say, but, you know, mean what they say. And, you know, exactly what she said came true. So I wanted to congratulate you on all the success you've had in your career and congratulate you on this film. I 100% agree when you said it matters. It's something that, you know, women, especially Black women, women of color, can watch of all ages. And it's just a feel-good tale, you know, of Black girl luxury and us doing things separate from trauma, you know, no trauma involved.
Right. And so, thank you. I know I haven't met you before. I did some research. I love your questions. They're very spicy and intellectual, and they made me dig deep. And I'm excited to continue to watch you and see where you go, because I just see this bright light in you. So
thank you. You know, I've been doing this for a little bit, but, you know, it makes me feel good. I wish things weren't virtual. You know, COVID really needs to be out.
That's okay. It won't always be. It won't always.
I know. I'm ready to go back to meeting people and connecting with them, because that's what I do well. But I'm a huge TV and film girl. So we've been, like I said, we've been watching you over the years, and just want you to continue doing what you're doing and, you know, live that soft era that you know, deserve. So
thank you. And I'm at Joyful Drake on all social media.
Okay. We'll make sure. Yeah, make sure we follow you.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, Joyful. I can't wait for everyone to see it, and for your daughter to see it if she hasn't already. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.